Greetings, fellow guests of the Dread Fort. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages. Episode 26, Adding Guest Lodging to Our Island Fort. We have porcupines. I'm going to try to tame them again. Oh, we also have a Tyrrell that probably needs to get group hunted. I'm going to send everybody out. I'm not messing around. When predators arrive, they die. If you're unfamiliar with the Tyrrells, because I've had to fight a lot of them, they're like owl bears. We also have a Wolverine that could become a predator, but they're a little bit like less of a threat than like full-blown Tyrrells, which are like fast bears. Yeah, people might want to join here only because everywhere else is worse. That's a very fair point. We can only theorize about the state of the rest of the continent, but in the backstory, trade from the east and west basically got cut off by the Dread Forest. So, generally speaking, when trade is cut off into isolated regions, they become impoverished. Not always, but like that tends to be a reasonable trend. So it is, it's conceivable that yeah, the areas around here are not doing well. And then, because of the bills we have, so the smelting tattered apparel, when the shield gets unequipped, it just gets smelted so people don't put it back on. So those bills seem to be working pretty well. So once this is all roofed up and done, we're going to want wall torches, and then maybe given the current, well, it's 75 Fahrenheit out. 24 Celsius, so maybe I won't do a hearth just yet. But we'll obviously get bedrooms in here as well. So the composting toilets, and at some point we might decide to upgrade to ones that are not composting with a septic tank that can be drained. We did actually just use a ton of fertilizer, so we have a lot of stockpiled fertilizer, biosolids, but we use like 2,000 because it's something you like fertilize yearly, and when you do, it's a giant bulk batch of it. So might make sense to continue with that composting. And we will do an occupancy check for these. The other thing we're going to want is illumination, so that people aren't bathing in the dark. Which actually kind of sounds pleasant to me, but, you know, it pisses off pawns, so I do what they will like. Question. This is pretty close to being done. What do you want me to build next? If you do vote for guest lodging, I could consider, I would poll whether it means building for pay lodging, because I don't mind getting silver. The idea for the lodging was mostly to attract recruits, but like if they want to come be tourists here, that's fine. And then I've explained all the other choices here. That is a lot of beer. We are going to be supremely supplied with beer. And as long as I don't get a blight, we have a lot of psychoid ready to come tea. Ritual Lords breaching. Okay. Yo, everybody. Everybody minus... minus the guard animal. You, I want you inside. I also probably need to repaint the inside zone, so let me take a look at that before we fight. So this is inside, and yes, it was wrong. Oh, I guess that's fine. They are taking this bridge. That's awesome. And we do not have fog, which normally we do have fog during these fights. We don't have fog, which is an advantage because that's going to allow us to actually hit targets, perhaps. So they're breaching, but they're breaching and they're like walking, because obviously they don't want to wade through the river. They're going to walk on the bridge and get gunned down. I cannot wait. That is one very pretty beard. So the breachers are in front, and they're getting arquebused badly. I do not have, however, a southern crematorium. I had mentioned wanting one. And to clean up these corpses, I might get one. I might just build one here, because it'd be pretty easy to build. You know, just like walled it up. So TBD. I might even want to make it like closer to the... Well, I don't want to block archers, so I would put it over there. I don't know what you're doing. Well, look at his eyes. Is that because you're a slowpoke? Oh my god, that is a funny portrait. Not all of them are hilarious like that, but every now and then you see one and you're like, wow. Your grandparent, you only have 2 grandparents out of 4. If you know, you know. Well, they really don't look like they want to come and mess with us. They cannot decide whether to push or not. Which is fine by me. Strike them down. In terms of barrel durability, we're doing great. We're not running low. They're rethinking their strategy. Yeah, the Lemmings approach. Of course, that was all like fabricated by Disney, but whatever. The Lemmings approach doesn't work so well, does it? When we've got them newfangled boom booms. Speaking of boom booms, I don't trust people with like polearms anymore after what happened to Dizzy. Or your name, yeah, Dizzy. Make sure I got it right. Their total number up is 13. Their total number dead is 6. Well, 7. So we're getting close to their retreat numbers, I think. Wow. Well, how big of a... Okay, that's a claymore. Fair. How would you... Is that... I don't know how to say that. I'm not French enough to pronounce that. Okay, maybe don't, like, flee on me. Okay, everyone using guns, don't waste your ammo on the ones retreating, because we ain't got time for that. This was a supremely effective... Oh god, he is a pawn. Defense. These are the ritual lords, so we'll never, ever, 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 ever be allied with them. So there's no point in taking prisoners. There is no bloodlusters, as far as I'm aware, in the community here. Meaning that... Oh, no, there is. Major, guess what? You have the lovely honor of finishing... Are you wearing silver armor, though? You are. Yeah, we're gonna melt that down, bud. Your t-shirt... Nah, it's not that great. Your armor. Give it. Actually, let's take your armor too. Okay, schedules. Well, animals, unrestricted. Yo, what? Did I activate your trap card? Well, guess what? I activate mine. Get owned! Goodbye. Alright, you guys want a ranch once I am done with the guest lodging. Copy, 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 copy that. I will go ahead and take the initiative and be like, we want one of them. So let's do a wooden door here. And actually, we'll do a stone door and just force it open. No, I have a wooden door in the other one. I'll do a wooden door, that's fine. I'll still force it open. And we're going to build a little crematorium over here, because we already are suffering from lung rot. And I don't really want more lung rot, so... I think actually we just got cleared of lung rot, because it was Major that had it. Or Matic, rather. And Matic is now cured. But regardless, do not want lung rot. So we want to process the dead. Plus, you know, one could imagine that our knights don't really have a concept of, like, why the undead walk. So one would imagine in this situation that they would not want to have the potential of having zombies, meaning burning the dead. Because we've been attacked by plenty of shamblers, so there's a precedent of the dead walk. So let's, you know, not allow that. Okay, the animal zone. Is this correct? A reminder, the reason why I'm taming the porcupine are extremely good at suppressing entities, because they will stick the entities full of quills and, well, they're quill beasts, right? Let's go ahead and do a giveaway for the porcupine. Timer's up. In here, oops, it would help if I will add a whole bunch of beds. I'm also going to add 2 tables. I don't want them eating around here, but if they are to eat around here, I would prefer them to eat at a table than not eat at a table. So I'll put tables there too. And this is, of course, going to use up a lot of our wood building all this, which is all the more reason why to focus on the hauling of the wood that's out here, so that we can resupply our stockpile. The hearth will eventually go between the tables where the torch is. So once it's cold enough, because currently it's not, it's like 27 Celsius, it's quite hot, but it'll eventually just go here. Oh, it requires all space on all sides. Right. Okay. Change of design. So we could put a hearth here, and that doesn't block it. Or here. Either way. Okay. Some of these masterwork beds probably should be swapped with the ones that we use. So, let's see. Major. You're gonna get that one. And we have another one, which can go to this unowned. It was Dizzy's. And in fact, the dresser put a dresser there and a dresser here to just improve the comfort of the beds in there. And then uninstall this end table for now. Alright, Major's gonna end up sleeping on the floor, guys. You gotta actually move the bed in for them. And Ginger, you'll sleep here. Okay, so everyone that has a single bed has a masterwork bed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have this spare empty one. And then we do need some masterwork double beds, but, you know, I'm not trying to improve the beds of our colonists, so if they're higher quality, I'll swap them, but if they're not, oh well. Manhunter pack of badgers. Badger. Everyone inside. Animal inside. Well, alright. There we go. This is a not terrible way to test our arquebus defense. Oh, I hear them. I do not need to go lure them. I still have combat command, which is great. I'm not setting the ground on fire. Actually, you know what? I am. We'll do a real test. So there is the benefit of the chem drench. It is hella fast. And now we are closing the gate. We are unroofed and protected from the ambient temperature. Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that because Roy, you aren't both a person and a porcupine. Vita Mortis, congrats. And then the interest. Yep, okay, it works. So the indoor temperature of this bridge now is 225 Celsius and climbing. So as you can see, works fantastically. I'm just gonna walk away from this. I think these badgers are cooked. Yeah, there's not a single unwounded badger at this point. They're all just getting burnt. And then the slower to burn wood is now catching fire. This thing is 1,000 degrees Celsius. Proof of concept has worked. I mean, some of them are in the water now, but they're wounded. I'm obviously not about to like go outside and be like, hey, badgers, come chew on me. So, you know. And then the wood keeps the ambient temperature in here hot for longer. I like it. I like the ratio. I think the ratio of wood to chem drench could be slightly changed. For more chem drench and less wood. Or the opposite of what I literally just said. More wood, less chem drench. Because the chem drench brought the ambient temperature up way fast. So I'll do like 4 and 4. Like this. 4 wide, rather. But, sweet. Obviously, we're not going to go out for a bit, because there's still a swarm of angry badgers. And they don't know how to get in our walls, so, as long as we stay inside, we're fine. That's an evil, trap bridge? It is. It is. I mean, we needed something to help balance the scales of how absolutely ridiculously powerful the anomalous entities are compared to us, right? They are way stronger, and That's a little scary, so I'm trying to... This was definitely by design. This bed is only good quality, so we'll move it in here and replace the excellent bed. We didn't end up getting a masterwork, but yeah, that's alright. So Lilin and Medic. We'll take this bed once it's moved. Cool. Hey, David, thank you for the resub. Alright, the guest facilities are almost done. And we're really not going to be open for guests for a while, because there's some angry out there. We need the angry to go away. The room isn't all that cleaned up yet. I think once clean, it's going to be a bit higher quality. We definitely have room for a whole lot of guests, even some couples if they do show up. Slightly impressive. See if any of the guest beds are better than the hospital beds. Excellent, excellent, good, good. So there is one excellent that could be moved, I suppose. This one. Good call, by the way. We'll get that swapped around. Now, all but one of the hospital beds in there is excellent quality. I'm going to toggle this off as not a gather spot, because I don't want actually people to gather there. The occupancy checks are now engaged again. So we're good. Just logic. The next project that you guys wanted me to work on is a ranch. I might want 2 ranches, however. And the reason for this is I'm considering a horse stables, because horses would be like war animals. And then pairing that with like an area for our porcupines to live and thrive, and sort of getting both. And we're still waiting for the badgers to leave. I don't know what killed the lynxes, but they're also like dying, which is great. Fewer predators, the better. I am going to engage a high priority haul. Looks like a lot of the psychoid in here is gonna rot if we don't tend to it. And the only ones not hauling will be Lilin and Ivalka, who will be responsible for actually making the tea. So we want a southern crematorium to handle the dead bodies down here, and then a ranch. I think for the... I wouldn't necessarily be against egg layers. If we do manage to get chickens, ducks, you know, ones that can lay unfertilized eggs, as a easier source of protein, it would not be a terrible idea. I'm not necessarily going to build a chicken coop right now, though. What I'll do is I'll build a mounted animal stable and also build a, like, porcupine or other animal area and keep them separate. Knowing that a chicken coop is possible. So the tricky caveat here is, if I want my animals to have access to grazing lands, which I do, I'm probably going to want to move this cornfield in the future over. Because, functionally speaking, the only zone that, like, is rich is about here. This is obviously crude, but it's this center area here, which really ought to be reserved for, like, human farming. You know, farming for human foods or human consumed. And this area here can be part of, like, the horse paddock. The problem with that is it's awfully close to where the entities are being stored, and I don't love that. I'd like to keep them separate, but obviously I can't put it here because this is where our water supply is. Because there's a, alternatively what I could do is build, like, the stables, maybe here, giving the horses access to this grass and this grass, and building the, you know, and then putting hay grass down here as part of the stables. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have you guys decide. This will be option number 2. It's a script 2. Okay, I'm going to use Roman numerals because, my god, I'm terrible at making numbers. So this is option number 2, which is a stables which utilizes both halves of the grass, where we just fence up, like, an area around here and an area around here, allowing the horses to graze this and this, with a barn in the middle. I would put the barn here because it's closer, but it would block line of sight a lot worse. So, option number 2. And option number 1 might be to put them here, moving the water tower to somewhere, like, more convenient, because the horses could be nestled in... Okay, it's a pretty small area, but I could move these wind pumps somewhere less inconvenient, like if I put them here, it wouldn't cause an issue because they're not a line of sight blocker. So I could put the horses up here and give them access to grazing this. Either way works. I don't really care. The other advantage to up here is, hypothetically, I could annex this grass up here, expanding the walls if I wanted to, allowing them to graze a little bit further, same with over here and down here. So I don't think I have plans to expand the castle walls, but, like, if I ever did, we'd have more land. Yeah, and those are the only 2 reasonable spots I see. So, where to build a stables. I think I over-explained it, but there you go. 1 or 2. So 1 is in the north, 2 is in the south. Option number 2 coming in real popular, huh? But thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream. Cheers. I am really running low on my my wood. Can't wait till these badgers go away and I can get back out there. Have I been cranking through pemmican? Yeah, I really have. Okay, I mean, worse things have happened. But we have 1,800 pemmican now. I really didn't mean for that to happen. So it looks to me like option number 2 is going to be the clear victor. I'm going to call this one a little early. So here's what it will look like. I'm going to have a really low profile stable. Something like that. It's weird. It's long. It's oblong. It's oblong for a really good reason. The only annoyance that I see is getting through this door means we're going to have to go through a fence. Right? There's no way to not fence gate. Well, that's not... Yeah, I mean, we're going to need a fence gate somewhere. I think I will do stone fences. Just because we're, like, wood poor. And maybe I'll try to have it be more, like, straight lines than following the curve. You know, we'll follow the curve. Whatever. To some degree, I mean, not, like, pointlessly. For the convenience of walking around, I'll probably end it here, but a fence gate there. So that way we have a flagstone path that can come down and around. Where we'll have door to be able to access the ranch. So this is 19, so door in the middle. So this is a access door for us, and then the animals themselves will have like flaps. Hey, Bifrost, thank you for the gifted subs in lieu of an affiliate link. Yeah, I never have affiliate links. Once upon a time, I tried affiliate linking, and I had people like buy things with affiliate links, and like I would never, ever, ever, ever get any sort of money from them. And I just sort of gave up on the concept because it was like, oh, okay, this is a lot of effort, and I don't want to have to fight companies to be like, please pay me. I know they bought the thing that they said they bought. Yeah, it just got annoying, so I don't even bother with affiliate linking anymore as a result. Being essentially, like, burned by affiliate programs. And this was before the whole, like, honey debacle. Of like honey very intentionally screwing over content creators for affiliate links. You know, I just realized, like, the fence should be on the stone section, not the grass section. We don't want to restrict grass. I don't know why I built that, like, totally backwards. I'll put the pathing down later. So, there's that section, and this one, of course, is going to need an annoying gate that we'll have to pass through to go to the southwest, but, like, whatever. And we can at least offer up a lot more paddock here. And then the idea was, because I'm potentially using porcupine to mess with the entities, having the porcupines live closer to the entities makes sense. So if the entities try to escape, I just zone the porcupines at them. The entities attack the porcupines, get quilled, get downed, and it's problem solved. That's at least the theory. I'll even lay down flag underneath the fences. Makes it more expensive, but more attractive. But not for here, because I'm not walking that way. Okay, so hypothetically that's the project. We'll put a fence gate, wooden one, so it opens up fast there. Wooden one there. That's not a fence gate. I tried. There we go. And this is where the horses will go. And then the floor, of course, is going to be straw matting. Which I will have soon because the hay grass is growing. Yeah. There we go. The only other thing we're going to want for this zone is the actual physical horse pen marker, which I'll stick here out of granite. Okay, most of the badgers are wandering away. I don't know how many corpses I ended up with, but I assume one of the advantages of this fire trap is like the corpses end up burnt up, so it removes the cleanup requirement that I would otherwise have dealing with mostly rotten animals that came to attack us. And host, thank you for the resub too. And you're welcome for the Stationeers Marathon. In fact, right now, my Patreon patrons are voting that next Friday I potentially play Stationeers. It wouldn't be the same series, but that's picking up steam. The poll's still open till the end of the day, but my I think last I checked that was leading the polls, so it might not be a well. That series is a one and done, but I might pick up another one, experimenting maybe on the moon with the new solar storms, or I don't know. We'll see. Okay, wildlife. There's only 4 of the badgers that need to leave left. There is a Tyrrell that I'll probably want to hunt before I allow guests, because I don't really want the guests to show up and then immediately get ganked. Because, yep, I would feel responsible. Let's reduce the high priority hauling, because basically everything did get hauled. We have a, but we're, like, out of wood. We're, like, out of wood. So there's a few badgers left that I think are exiting the map tile, but we're going to need to just spend a lot of time hauling timber into the base, because it is 8th of September, getting colder, and I don't have any wood. I think for the remaining wildlife, I'm just going to clear them. I'm like tired of waiting. Oh, Klein went out on his own. How? Wait, what? How do you even get... oh, I drafted him. Well, no, I didn't draft him. How is he even out here? So there's this one, and this one that needs killing. And then we can unzone everyone. I think it's probably safe for Serenity to go unrestricted again. And I'll have to just set... let's also open up that Grand Gate. I'll have to set high priority hauling for everyone as well. Except for, let's say, Lilin. That way we restock our wood, because it's dire. Yep, there's really no corpses in this hallway. And clear them without a mess, which is great. I am going to group hunt the Tyrrell after, yep, and then we'll open up to guests. Because these things are way too fast. Okay, looking better. Reminder, if we ran out of wood, all of our meat that is curing spoils. Ooh, another porcupine. So another raffle for the porcupine. All the meat that is curing spoils and our base gets either super hot or super cold. It's just not a good time. Definitely need to take care of the ambient temperature. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow knights.